Hello, everybody. My name is Morris Button. I'm the CEO of City and Financial Global, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to the latest in our series of speaker interviews. I'm delighted to have with us today Duncan Moir, who's the Senior Investment Manager for Alternatives at Aberdeen. Duncan will be speaking at the Tokenization and Digital Assets Leaders Summit, which is being held as part of City Week on the 21st of May at Guildhall, London. Welcome, Duncan.
Thank you, Morris, and thank you for having me.
Great to have you with us. Let's turn to the first question. What are the key areas you are focusing on at Aberdeen in terms of the institutional adoption of digital assets?
Sure. So for us, digital assets is quite broad. We have interests across product to give our investors exposure to the growth of digital assets and blockchain adoption, but of course application of blockchain within the company and the things we do. So tokenization has been a big focus for us. Tokenization of fund assets, but also individual assets, and then various other projects related to application of DLT.
Yeah, because there seems to be considerable growth, as you say, a focus on tokenization, because there's the report coming out from the HM Treasury Asset Management Task Force on a blueprint for investment fund tokenization. There's the LSEG plan for a blockchain-based trading platform. Yeah, what are the main benefits, do you think, that tokenization can bring to the financial services industry?
So I think the one that everybody talks about is this democratization, the power democratization of investing in financial services, which I think is completely relevant. So it's about giving individual or smaller and individual investors more power, more flexibility. Tokenization can do that. We can bring assets that investors could not previously access due to size constraints, liquidity constraints, or just that the infrastructure wasn't there. We can now bring these to smaller and individual investors. But I also think it just in general creates a more level playing field. And I think it will also have benefits for the largest investors as well. So the ones that today get access to all those opportunities, there are benefits that tokenization brings to them, such as greater liquidity, new areas, new potential opportunities for additional returns. So I think it's one of these unique situations where both the smaller and the larger investors can see benefits from innovation.
And where are you seeing the most interest, Duncan? Is it from institutional investors or is it from retail investors at this stage?
I would say in terms of product distribution, it's very early days. So I mean, we're at the beginning of a multi-year journey to tokenize the world, but you know, from the activity that we've been involved in so far, such as Archax tokenizing their interests in our money market funds and offering those to investors, we're seeing interest across the spectrum of professional and institutional investors. So really interesting to see quite a different mix of interest of different client types coming in.
Yeah, because you're referring to, that was the £15 billion Lux Sterling money market fund, and the token was issued by Hedera, and as you say, you use the Archax tokenization engine. Is that then a model for what you're planning to do with other funds?
Yeah, so Archax tokenized their investment in the fund, and we later signed a distribution agreement to allow them to offer tokens on the tokenized interests in a range of our funds. So the sterling was the first, dollar and euro available as well, and there'll be more to come across different fund types. We tokenized, or Archax tokenized using Hedera Hashgraph DLT, which is an enterprise DLT. Aberdeen is is a governing council member of Hedera Hashgraph. So we sit on the governing council. We operate a node on that network, and it's a public permissioned network. But this is the model that or one of the models that we see as being really useful because it's quick to market. And it achieves a lot of the things that securitization achieves as well. But there are other models that we're exploring.
And presumably this model and the other models you're talking about, that's something that's going to be covered by the HMT report on investment fund tokenization, I guess, the different types of models that might be used.
So we'll see what gets fully captured in the report, but I think there are lots of different ways that you can do this, and each approach has its own pros and cons. But we're exploring a number of them.
Okay, and what are there? I mean, it sounds like there's massive potential, and it's if you like a form of revolution in the industry. But what are the barriers to this happening? Is it regulation? Is it interoperability? Are there other barriers that need to be overcome?
Yeah, I mean, for us, it's very easy to blame regulation, but in fact, we've been pretty comfortable with the current regulatory environment for what we're doing in terms of fund, asset, and security tokenization. So I wouldn't put regulation as a barrier for new entrants to the market or for this to take off. Neither would I put interoperability, because I've not seen interoperability problems being raised right now. In fact, a lot of what we'll probably see early days is offerings through centralized venues, such as Archax, who can support multiple chains. So I don't see interoperability being a problem. What I think is the biggest barrier is most likely going to be investment. So the willingness of buy-side firms such as ourselves to invest in these new areas. The asset management industry is extremely challenged at the moment.
Yeah.
Digital assets is a new area. So what we need are more groups like Aberdeen really investing in the space, because we need to give investors more offerings for them to want to come in and use this new way of consuming our content. Nobody's going to come in for 3 Aberdeen liquidity funds. So we need more offerings, and it can't just be an Aberdeen range.
Yeah. Do you have a sense that the industry is heading that way? That's what this Treasury Asset Management Task Force is hopefully capitalizing.
I think the AMT is good evidence of interest, but just from anecdotally, just from talking to my colleagues at our competitor firms and seeing what's going on, it's happening. There's definite focus here, and we just need more of that to continue.
Well, that I think that's probably a positive note on which to leave this interview. But we've run out of time anyway, I think, really, Duncan. So we look forward to hearing more from you. It just remains for me to say thank you very much for sharing those insights, Duncan.
Thank you, Morris.
Of course, these and many other issues related to tokenization will be discussed at the Tokenization and Digital Assets Leaders Summit at Guildhall in London on the 21st of May, which of course is being held as part of City Week. I very much hope that our viewers will be able to join us in person at that event.